Hello, my name is Brittany Keys, and today I'm going to be talking about e-textbooks and a qualitative study that could be done that could really impact my field of education. A technology that we often use, or that I often use in my field of study, is access to online textbooks, or otherwise known as e-textbooks. Rather than carrying around a large textbook and transporting it from class to class or class to home and back again, students are able to access their book online from a Chromebook or any other digital device with Wi-Fi access. With anything, there are advantages and disadvantages, and in this case, do the advantages truly outweigh the disadvantages? So in addition to having students have access to that online textbook, they also have access to a library of educational videos, online tutors, extra practice pages, and study materials. I use e-textbooks in my everyday classroom for intros to lessons, lesson videos, online tutors for struggling students. From a school administration standpoint, purchasing textbooks can be kind of a cumbersome ordeal. And purchasing e-textbooks can be even more cost-effective as they're cheaper. E-textbooks are not capable of being lost, stolen, or damaged, although the hardware that they are used with can be. As standards change, regular textbooks become obsolete, costing schools thousands of dollars upon investment, and sometimes that happens at the most inopportune of times. E-textbooks are rented by subscription, so they are the most up-to-date version of the curriculum, and it's easy to switch to a newer version if need be. Educational research around online textbooks would be beneficial to my career in terms of suggestions for their uses in the classroom that make most effective practices. Because e-textbooks are still relatively new, not all districts have them. It would be interesting to see the ways in which other educators use their e-textbooks and whether or not they use them as a standalone or as a supplement to their hardback version. So a research question or study that I would want to look into would be, how do the use of e-textbooks in schools, whether implemented as a standalone or as a supplement to hardbound textbooks, influence learning outcomes on assessments in comparison to schools or classes that only use hardbound textbooks? This answer to this question would be useful in helping me and my team and administration during the selection of new textbooks and courses of action that we might take in terms of purchasing. It'd also be effective in helping me determine what ways of teaching might be most effective for my students. So if I were conducting this study, I would do it within a single school, just out of convenience, and the population for the study would be from that school. It would also have a single grade level and subject, and I would, from that subject, have ideally 3 classes consisting of between 20 to 30 students per class. So the total sample size would be between 60 to 90 students. This would be the best fit for the study because of convenience, but also because of the outside factors such as prior knowledge, community involvement, religious views, cultural factors, parent involvement, and other predispositions that would be relatively consistent from one participant to the next would help with making my test or study consistent across the board. This sample size would also allow to have the same teacher, so there's no variable in that aspect, as the instructor, and the same assessment materials in their entirety rather than having a parallel form of the tests, which would allow for more accurate measurement. An achievement assessment would be administered to all conditions within the study sample. The achievement assessment would be categorized as a teacher-made norm reference test in which all individual performance is compared to other participants' performance. This could be done on a larger scale, if we wish, with a standardized test such as the MAP assessment tool, in which a pre-test, mid-year, and post-test is administered throughout the year. So within the single school, grade level, and subject area with multiple classes, the study could be conducted out of convenience, as I've said before. 3 class sections would be ideal, having a control group for one class with only a textbook for supplement, and then 2 test groups, one in which there's only an e-textbook used for instruction, and one in which a hybrid course of using a textbook instruction and e-textbook access having been available. An achievement assessment would be administered to all conditions within the study sample and measured using interval levels of scored averages. For a true measure of percentage level of achievement, I would conduct a pre-test post-test of a single unit, issuing the same test to all conditions and comparing the percentage increase from pre-test to post-test in order to gauge effectiveness. Internal consistency reliability would be used with all participants being issued the same achievement test. The results of the test are related to the underlying set of variables within the condition, classifying it as a construct validity. Data would be collected twice within a single unit, once at the beginning and once at the end, spanning no more than 2 weeks at a time. This same study would be conducted multiple times on varying units throughout a single year to get a larger sense of the effectiveness over time. Assessment would be graded manually. A simple Excel sheet with formulas with students' names, pre-test percentages, post-test percentages, and the percentage increase from pre-test to post-test, and the average increasing percentage for each condition would show effectiveness for each condition. So on the screen you can see one control group. This could be the control group. One group in which all of the students' pre-test, post-tests are shown and their percentage increase as well as the average increase percentage for that group. I hope this is an interesting study to you and that you really enjoyed listening to this presentation. I would love to conduct this.